Level M Diecast. What's going on, guys? We are going to be bringing you part 4 of the Real Working Rigs Rock Through today. Today is going to be all about military might. So we're going to be covering all the ridiculously cool stuff that Matchbox has done in the Real Working line with military vehicles, which is not enough. Definitely not enough. And so we're just going to go into some randomness here. We're going to just go ahead and start with the only generic that they've done. Throw this guy up on here. This is the missile launcher. This, like I said, this is a generic, but this is one of the best generics they did for the Real Working Rig line. As we go through these videos, you guys are going to see that generics are very large for some reason. They're just very oversized. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they made the generic ones so big. But the rest of the Real Working Lugs sort of kind of scaled to itself. But these generics are just ridiculous. They're just off the wall. So this is its debut version in this camo green. We'll take a look at it up close here. So got that great Eagles logo on the side. TML. Not exactly sure what that stands for, but This is a really, really, really good casting for a generic. And being that it's a missile launcher, you already know what it's going to do. Take a look at the front. So this tilts back. Give you your launch. Rotates 365 degrees. And see there's a rubber band on here. These missiles, just take that rubber band off real quick. Whoop, there we go. Just for you guys. So there's the missile. The missile comes off. It's hollow on the underneath, but that's so that it can be held in the launcher. That little tab just slides right in there and holds onto it, and then it just launches right off, just like that. Of course, both of them are removable. You also have a gun turret on the top here, which rotates, and then you still have your access hatch with interior detail in there. So this is a really good casting, and then of course this is real rubber tracks. And I actually go through about every month, and I will rotate all the tracks. Anything I have that is loose with rubber tracks, just to make sure they don't get hyper stretched in one spot. I do that with anything that has tracks on it, real rubber tracks. We'll take a look at the Deets E22. That is your date code, so you can give you an idea of when it came out. Real Working Rig number 33. There's the details for that. It's pretty nice though. And there's nothing to keep it from moving once you close it down. But that's okay. I mean, it rotates 360 even when it's closed. There's quite a bit of friction in it though. I mean, it's not going to fall down or do anything like that. So we'll just throw these two missiles back up on there. There you go. Pretty sweet. Now, there were two versions of this one. The next version, if I remember correctly, this one came out in a Mission Force pack. Pretty sure. This one is in gray and red camo. It's really, really nice. Really nice. This one's definitely like urban modern flair, Really, really nice. So both of these are like a matte finish, which really is what you expect from military. You wouldn't expect them to put gloss finishes on these. I like the additional tampo print on the actual launcher sides there. Looks pretty good. There's a lot of detail to this casting. A lot of detail. You really got in there. Got to get in there and look at it. And here's the back on this one. This one is F21. There's the deets. Of course, this one has all the same features. Rotates, moves, does all that stuff. Underneath the missile launcher, still more detail. Lots and lots of detail on this casting. Just really, really good. This would look even cool without the missile launcher on the back. It's pretty cool. Throw that guy down. Now, we're going to do something that's not a tank. And it's probably not as cool. This is the Buffalo. And it's a mine-sweeping device. I believe it's a Oshkosh, I believe. But it's to clear mines. That's its intended purpose. This is a very unique, very man, I don't even know how to explain it. This is definitely so far out left field it's ridiculous. And it's kind of odd because Matchbox didn't do a whole lot of military stuff. And it's kind of weird that they kind of chose this one, I guess, because it's kind of weird. Because it doesn't really have a lot of features to it. So we'll take a look at it real quick. So this is the side of it. It's very, very unique, very odd looking unit. There's a ridiculous amount of detail in the casting. Just an enormous amount of detail. You got A1 on the back. This is a very heavy model. There's a lot of metal. There's your access point in the back. MP CV8T. Got a spare tire on the side. There's the crazy front end on it. It's got a green window. Green window's kind of weird. There's no interior on this. But the idea is that this little arm piece will come out. It rotates. It's got an additional hinge here. It'd come down and it would just pick up a mine and throw it off to the side and clear it away. That's kind of how it works. Very limited playability. That arm is very, very fragile. It's very thin. The plastic is ultra, ultra thin. Take a look at it. So you can see it's very, very thin. So, but it does have good articulation in all the parts that you want it to. It just doesn't move that well. There's a little holder part on here just to hold it on the roof. Keep it out of the way. And that's pretty much it. So we'll take a look at the base here. So D06 is your base code. This is a real working rig number 25. So if you're keeping track, I'll give you an idea. Now, this one came in 3 versions. So the next version is this guy in this olive green. And I do have the other arm to this, the rest of this arm. I left it in the display case. But I didn't really feel like I needed to go get it. You guys understand what we're looking at. I like this version way better. I like the black wheels. I just like the darker color on it. Although the other one's probably more realistic. It's more desert style kind of thing. This one still has green windows. But this one you can see the detail in the casting a little bit better. There's just an enormous amount of detail all around the casting. There's 3 parts. So you have this part, the middle part, and a base. So this part and the middle part are all metal. And then the base is plastic. So the majority of it is metal. Like I said, it's a very heavy model. It's a very beefy model. And then this one gets painted mud flaps on the back, which really breaks it up and makes it look a lot better. Looks really, really good. This one, take a look at the bottom here. We're looking at D16. It's a better look at the bottom too. A lot easier to read than on that really, really light tan color. I like the Matchbox logo. It's all scrunched. It's pretty cool. So, pretty sweet. And just better view here. That whole middle section's V-shaped. So the whole idea is that if something was to blow up, it would just explode around the vehicle rather than through the vehicle, which is why it got that crazy shape to it. It's pretty cool though. The very last version is obviously the best. This one came in like urban camo with just enormous amount of tampo print all over it. Just absolutely awesome. I mean, look at that. This one would have been really cool with black wheels, but it's all right. There's the details on the front. You get some tampo print on the bumper. Really nice version. This version almost looks premium compared to the other two, just because all the tampo print that it gets. So it gives you an idea of what's metal and what's plastic, because all the metal has tampo print on it, and then of course the plastic is the plastic. There's the back. No back print, but that's okay. This also gets full print on the top as well. So it looks like it's holds 6 people. There's a hatch for everybody to get out if need be. So a really nice model. So really nice model. We'll take a look at the base real quick so you guys can see where this one came from. This one really bleeds in there. E16. So this was the last version released of this casting. It's pretty sweet. All right, we're gonna go back to something military. Back to military. We're gonna go back to something tracked. We're gonna throw this guy up here. Get some rotator time. Slide that up just a little bit. Get just a little bit of zoom in there. Not too crazy. This is the M1a1 Abrams. And Matchbox made this casting many years ago in the standard range. And I think that it's perfectly fitting that they brought it out to the Real Working Rig line and be able to give it all the detail that it really needs. But the funny thing is that it really doesn't have that much more detail or functionality than the mainline version did, which is kind of crazy because it's twice the size and 5 times the price. So you would think that there'd be a huge difference there. But unfortunately, there's not. And what I mean by that is, obviously, for one, this is Real Working Rigs. Let me get these 2 models out of the way. Sorry, guys. Making some space. So, obviously, this is a Real Working Rig. So, this is going to have real real rubber tracks, which obviously the standard range one didn't. Full 360 rotating turret, which the standard version did. Movable main turret, which the standard version did. So the only difference this one has is the man station on the top, which opens up. You can see down in there. Not really any detail in there, but you can see down in there. And then it's got this gun that rotates on the top, which obviously the small one didn't. But realistically, I mean, what else do you need? This covers all the bases, you know. I really like that they color matched the hatch to make sure that it blends in well. Good camo. I'm not 100% sure if that circle with the triangle is related to a real military symbol, but Matchboxes use that a lot, especially during the era when this had come out and stuff like that. It's the back of the tank. It's a relatively heavy model. The turret is metal as well as the body, so you see some detail underneath the turret. Rotate this turret back. Take a look at the front. Not a whole lot of detail there. But if you're looking at the front of that tank, that's probably the last thing you'll ever see. Looking at the base here. So the day code's printed opposite, C07. So licensed by General Dynamics Land Systems. Of course, you got your rotating tracks that are rubber. See, if you don't rotate them enough, they kind of start doing that type thing where you get like a stretched out version, stretched out spot, and you gotta. So I try to avoid those. All right, we're gonna go on to the next version. This one is in desert camo, so you went from kind of jungle to desert, which is fitting. I really like this version a lot better. It just looks more tank to me. I've watched quite a bit of videos on the evolution of the tanks and stuff. They have it on Netflix. It's a pretty good show. History of Tanks, I think is what it's called. But it goes from pre-World War I all the way up to mid-2000s or so. Pretty cool. Russia kicks everybody's butt when it comes to tanks. So, just saying. This one's really cool because it's got a little bit of battle damage on there. Got some bullet strikes in there. Obviously, it hasn't taken any tank rounds, because if it took some tank rounds, there would be some huge holes in there. This one's really cool, though, because they even got the detail on the wheels. So it just looks really, really, really good with that overspray. Same symbol, just this is Unit 3 instead of the other one was Unit 1. Mimicked on the other side. This one has less bullet holes on this side, which is pretty cool. Not an exact copy. No tampo print on the back, but we do get tampo print on the top. And that goes all the way through both pieces, which is very nice. This one has all the same moving features and still has the same opening access hatch. A little easier to see in there with this one. The little lighter colors. And then, of course, you still have your movable turret, which is pretty nice. Obviously, the turret is plastic. Definitely wouldn't be metal, being a kid's toy, because that would be far too dangerous. So, it's pretty cool. I really like it. We're going to go on to the next version. So there's 4 M1a1 Abrams. This one is way, way, way different. Now, if I remember correctly, this one also came out in a Mission Force pack. I'm fairly certain. This one's more like urban warfare. Almost like, a UN would be rolling into a modern day type of thing, with that modern day urban camo and all that cool stuff on there. I think it's pretty cool. I like the gray. I like the black and the blue. United Alliance, obviously that's made up, but that's still pretty cool. All the black aspects are awesome. This is definitely a good version. Although you can tell it's definitely a step back in terms of quality. You don't have, detail with the wheels, and like the hatch isn't actually matched to the black surround. They just kind of skimmed on a couple of things on this one, and that's okay. It was in a Mission Force pack. That's kind of what happens. Still get all the tampo print on the top, though. Still get the awesome inkjet printing. It's my favorite type of printing. I think it looks just good. Good. No tampo print on the back. No surprise. Take a look at the base. Oh, you know what? I don't think I showed you guys the base on the other one. Sorry about that. C21. Sorry about that, guys. Pull this guy up. D45. Real working rig 14. So keeping track, keeping a list, keeping an Excel, however you want to do it. There you go. And then, of course, just got to rotate those tracks, every once in a while. I recommend you guys do that. All right, we're going to move on to the last version, and this version is for sure in a Mission Force pack, 100%. I totally remember. This one, I don't like. I don't like that it's gloss. I don't like that the wheels are green. This is a very interesting version. But, they had to have one little kind of freebie. I mean, the rest of them were pretty realistic, and this one's definitely not. Like I said, you can't win them all. I mean, it's Matchbox. Eventually, they're going to get something that's a freebie. So, robot Matchbox, or robot MBX. So, this is, I guess, the idea behind this. This would be remote controlled. And at that point, I guess it's okay if it's flashy. So, it still has all your same functionality. Still have your rotating gun, all that good stuff. It just doesn't have any print on the top. Super gloss black. Very minimal tampos on the sides. This is not inkjet printing. This is just your standard tampo print. It is pretty good quality though. No print on the back. No print on the top as we saw. And no print on the front as well. But it's still a pretty good version. We'll take a look at the base right here. So E10 is the last time we saw this guy. Hopefully it comes back. But, you know, who knows? Maybe they don't. Maybe they might not want to make any military stuff with the way things are these days. But that would be unfortunate. All right, we're going to go to something that's by far the coolest of all of the military. By far. And that's this guy. This is the Oshkosh Hemet A4. This is think of it as a rollback carrier for the military. And it does exactly that. And when this was previewed, I almost lost it. This was like the coolest real working rig ever when they first previewed this. I was like, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. And when it came out, it did not disappoint at all. This is a fantastic real working rig. So we're going to show you the functionality real quick. I'm going to get two hands in here. So it rolls up, and then it would come down to the ground, and then it would roll down the ground just like you'd expect from a roll-off. And then you'd set the roll-off down, and there's a little hook on here. So there's your hook. And then it sits just like you'd expect a roll-off to sit, just like that. And here's your container. So the container is all plastic, which is perfectly fine, but it is tampoed up, and it does open. So there you go. Very, very, very nice. Snap shut. No details on the bottom, but perfect. Exactly what you would think. This is super, super awesome. And I'll show you when we get to the other ones. You can stack these, and they look good. So here's the actual model. It's got an orange window piece in there. There is detail in there. It's not particularly great. It's a very minimalistic interior, but it is there. The front looks awesome. Very menacing. This is such a good casting. This is like snow camo. You get all the detail for the vent there. Look at all the detail on the casting. Looking at the back. Just so good. 8-wheel drive. There's the top. You get a spare tire. Spare tire is not painted, but that's okay. And then, you know, your marker lights and stuff on the top. Unit number 23, which is pretty sweet. Take a look at the bottom here. There you go, Oshkosh Hemet. So there's your debut right there, E07. And then your number. Let's see if there you have the production number on here. I'm looking just like you guys are. There it is. Real working rig number 19. You can see it there on the front axle. Pretty sure that's 19. I got a darker one here. Yep, that's 19. All right, guys. So 19. I find it interesting. There's a hole in the base here. I don't know if maybe that was the intention for an attachment or something on the front, but be curious to know what that was all about at some point in time. So pretty sweet. I'm going to set that guy right there. Let him rotate. We're going to pull up the next version here. Completely different style. This guy is in, you know, like jungle camo. Love this version. Black wheels and all that good stuff. Unit number 68. So this guy has all the camo, so he's not going to have like the detail for the grill and stuff, which is perfectly fine. So you get the detail on the side there. Pull around the other side. Same deal. No tampo print on the front, but that's okay. I mean, we got all the tampo print on the side, so can't ask for it all. Still got the spare tire, except for this time it matches. So So when you're using this thing, there are some tracks here, and it keeps it from sliding off. But there's nothing to hold it down, and it's pretty light, so you can shake it around. But it does all the same things. It's perfect. It's perfect. And there's the deets on the back. And take a look at the base here. So D16 is this guy. There's the details on the bottom. So we're going to separate this container real quick. Kind of move these guys out of the way. Now the good thing about these containers is they stack just fine. They don't interlock with each other, but they stack just fine. They're very, very solid. They work. It's exactly what they're supposed to do. So if you know, at this point in time, it would cost you a fortune, but if you were able to get several of these models, you could build a pretty nice diorama with them, and it would look really, really, really good. Really good. I mean, this model is extremely realistic. There you go. All right, we got one more version of that guy. And this guy, so these ones did not come in Mission Force packs, if I remember correctly. So this was kind of like their freebie version, as I mentioned earlier. There's always one that they do a little bit of a fun thing with. This one's more like the Battle Kings style, which is fine. I think that's perfectly fine. I love it. I like that it's tan, because then you can start matching this with the tank and whatnot. You get full tampos on the front. Transportation Squadron, Unit 32. I like this version. I like the grill back in there. It's got, some camo, not some camo. I think tampo printing in here would be super difficult. I think that's probably why they don't tampo print in there, but no tampo prints on the back. There's your standard inside container. And then on the top, you just get your spare tire. And then on the base here, had it right the first time. This guy is D45. That's where he came from. Let him roll. All right, guys, we have one more model. They did one more model, one more military model. And they only did this one once. And this is licensed. This is the Striker 8x8. We're just going to go right to the base here. This is one of the cooler ones they did. This one has a ton of features. Fully 360 turret. You got the manned area here. You got your gun emplacement here. And you still got another manned spot up here. And then, of course, your turret does move. Not a whole lot. And it also opens in the back. It's super tight. Because this would be a personnel carrier. So tons of features on this one. It'd be nicer if that was a little deeper, just to simulate that it was a personnel carrier. But it's still freaking sweet. A lot of good tampo print on it. They got the shovel detail and whatnot there. Goes throughout the top. Get to this side here. C42JC. And in the front here, A07. It's a pretty nice model. Pretty nice model. And like I said, there's your base, E07. It's unfortunate that, it's unfortunate they only use this model once. This model is very, very, very nice. I really like this one a lot. Think it would have been better in a desert camo. Light tan would have been perfect. I don't think, like I said before, I don't think we're going to see, probably won't see military come back, which is unfortunate. But, it is what it is. So we're going to let that guy rotate. We're not going to stack these up on there because there's too many of these. But there you go. We're covering the military. Military might here on Level M Diecast. Apologize for this video being late, but we'll get back on track. So hope you guys enjoy it. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the fact that you guys like these walkthroughs and like checking out these real working rigs. I love showing them off. I love being able to cover all of them for you guys to check out. And we're going to be moving on to the next part. So, as always, Level M Diecast saying, peace.